with the website reddit.com.
Reddit.
It's
Yes,
kind
that
of
sounds familiar. It's like
it's kind of
people making bad jokes at other people's expenses.
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, okay.
So, of course, I follow all the various gaming subreddits, and
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed this, but Spider-Man is sort of the trending topic.
Yes, I have noticed that. There's a lot of these picture mode posts where people take crazy still images of Spider-Man doing weird things. Kind of neat,
Yep.
a little bit.
Yeah. So I also have been joining in, not in the Reddit posting portion
Sure.
of it, but the Spider-Man playing portion of it and the photo taking portion of it. And, it's a super fun game, and it's the one that, of course, the world is talking about. And I think we should talk about it a little bit, since we don't do the new games here on the show. We're playing a lot of games that have been out for a year or several years. So Spider-Man, let's talk a little bit about him.
Sure, let's talk about him. Did you know
So, of
that
course-
Spider-Man is actually Peter Parker?
Spoilers. It's a great game. I mean, it's a great game. It's
Yes.
Insomniac. They did Ratchet and Clank, which you love. I love.
Yes.
It's a great studio, and a studio that I feel like has really retained this sort of old school gaming mentality, but really married it well with modern gaming sensibility. And they did a
Okay.
great job with the Spider-Man story and the mechanics. I'm having so much fun just exploring New York and just being a superhero. And, we're both from New York. At least we
Right.
lived there for
Right.
a significant amount of time. They did a great job. It's not
Yes.
like one-to-one, but they did a
Sure.
great job. I'll be
Yeah.
like, I know what street this is. I know where I am just by
That's
looking
awesome.
around.
That's awesome.
It's a lot of fun. I'm super enjoying it. Take a look and see if you can find it on Sony's website. But for a while, there was a free Spider-Man PSN theme available. I don't know if it's still available. It was at the time of writing the script 2 weeks ago. But it's possible. They've been doing a lot of these countdown to launch events. Sony, it's like these.
Okay.
Watch this video and for an upcoming game, and you'll get a free theme or free 20% off. They've kind of been doing it a lot lately. So even if it's a game you're not excited about, like
Yeah.
one of these MLB games that are coming up or something,
Right.
watch the videos on the countdown to launch site, because you'll get codes for all kinds of things, not just themes that are related to that game.
Interesting. That's good to know. I was unaware of that.
Yeah. So Sony's being a good guy, and Spider-Man's being a good guy, and Marvel's being a good guy. So yay for everybody.
Yay for everyone.
Well, as Uncle Ben would say, with great video games come great transitions.
Oh my
Tony, aka Paradox, and I'm always joined by my co-host.
Hello, I, the great and all-powerful Lauren, reader of scripts, no matter what may be written or how badly may be spelled, am also known as Caustic Sofa. And we are the always online first-person mythic science fictional gamers, and today we're trying to get one trophy in Destiny. You wrote Density, and I hate you for it.
For that, you deserve a musical theme. Welcome to Two Gamers, One Trophy.
Thank you.
So we're playing around a little bit with some, actual attempts at being professionals. So yay for us. That intro signifies the start of our show. Destiny 2 is the game of the day. It is not only the AAA offering from September's 2018 PS Plus free downloads for the PS4, but it was made available back at the end of August for PS Plus subscribers as a bonus to celebrate the DLC package Forsaken, which came out at the same time. We'll talk more about games for service and these sort of soft reboots and DLC and what the difference between the two later on during the episode.
Cool. So while I will be playing Destiny 2 unaware of what awaits me, I am the team's resident games for service player. Regular viewers know that I have a lot of experience with Overwatch, so we'll see how much that experience translates to gameplay here. However, I will always be able to turn to Tony, the show's game researcher, and he will be guiding me as necessary towards the trophy goal.
We here at 2 Gamers 1 Trophy don't just review all the free PS Plus titles each month. We like to add a little extra trophy challenge to our gameplay. For Destiny 2, we're doing a one-and-done trophy, which means I'm challenging Lauren to go after any one trophy and only one trophy in this gameplay. Once we get the trophy, we have to be careful not to get a second one before closing down the episode.
We invite all of our live viewers to join in the Twitch chat. Let us know if you're playing along or tell us your impressions of the game. And for those of you joining us later on YouTube, give us some internet cred, like, subscribe, and comment. No more delay, we start gameplay right now.
So dramatic. You time your X push right as you say it. I love it.
I know, and it was at exactly 6 minutes in even, so I was like waiting for that. I was like, waiting for it.
This is what professionals do. You know, we time it, and just in time so that viewers can skip to 6 minutes to read the EULA with us.
Yeah, apparently you have to read all the pages.
That's right. So we'll read it out loud for everybody. Ownership for license consideration. No, we will not be, obviously. But this is a great time to talk about games for service, because you have this giant software license agreement, and it's not a normal thing for games to have. At least games that are just for the disc in, single player, go for it. But if you get more and more into this constantly online, constantly updating the gameplay, we're in this nebulous middle space of, is this a static experience, or is this a platform for them to constantly be changing the experience up depending on the needs of gamers and the needs of the publisher. You know, Destiny 2 is the first real games for service, which is what this type of game is called, game that we've played on the channel.
Okay, I seem to be on a just a screen here. I don't know what's happening. Oh, there, finally. Things are happening. Never mind. I would like to say before we get into this that last time we played Dead by Dawn, I want to say was the name of the game. Was that
Dead by Daylight?
Dead by Daylight. Okay. And we signed off the show without me having earned a trophy, and literally like a minute later I got a trophy, and I was so annoyed. Like, I was proud that I got a trophy, but I was like, yo.
She messaged me immediately after. Almost the tone was, and how do we correct this? How do we let the viewers know?
Like, what do I, how do I need them to know I got this trophy.
It was just bad luck. I mean, you know, we tried to get it during the show, and unfortunately those trophies were a bit random. There's a lot of luck involved, and that just goes to show. It's hard to accomplish our little challenge every time, but we do try.
Yeah, we really do try our hardest. And that night we played for quite some time, and like,
we did.
It just wasn't happening. But then that game that I was in, I like somehow managed, everyone else was like, the hatch had opened up or whatever, the escape hatch. I guess everyone else must have been dead, and it was like, somehow it was like in my peripheral vision, and I was like, what is this? And I ran to it, and I was like, yes, let me use this. And then immediate trophy.
That's how it rolls. We'll try our best to get it in the gameplay for Destiny 2, but this is another one where maybe you just won't get it. We'll have to wait and see.
I never knew you in life.
As the title cards are indicating, this was developed by Bungie, the same developers of Halo and Destiny. They were split up from Microsoft in 2007, and this was published by Activision. The 10-year publishing agreement with Bungie is still into effect until 2020.
And when it arrived,
you know what's something we should talk about sometime on the show? Maybe not right now.
What?
But crossplay between different consoles.
Humanity thrived.
Ah, that's a great topic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Until it didn't.
I feel like
unfortunately.
Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead. I was going to say that Sony, you know, is, we play all Sony, PlayStation 4. We do all PlayStation games where I wouldn't say we're Sony fanboys and girls, but, you know, we're obviously in the Sony ecosystem. And unfortunately, Sony is not known for playing well with the others.
Its sacrifice destroyed
and that's kind of
enemy.
Yeah, I mean, from a business perspective, it makes sense. Sony is and has been for years the top dog in the console market. I mean,
Yeah.
they just have owned it since the PS4 and even the late PS3. Microsoft is clearly in second place, and Nintendo has its own market that is solidified since the success of the Switch. And Nintendo and Microsoft, it makes sense for them to combine forces and to share those things, to sort of cultivate an open gaming ecosystem, because they want to look like the good guys, because they need to claw their way back to the top. Sony's already at the top. They don't have a reason to do this. For them, they're like, whatever, you're going to buy this on our system anyway, so we don't have to play nice.
Oh my god, customization.
So we'll be here for the next hour, I'm guessing.
Nah. She actually looks pretty cool as it is. Just gonna see.
Yeah.
No,
No,
she's
I mean,
even
this
got
took
the
me an
perfect
hour.
hair. What the heck, man? Like, do they, I don't have a camera on my PlayStation as far as I know, but it's like they just took a snapshot of me and were like, yep, that's right.
They got you down. They know
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah.
You look back at the original announcement of the PS4 compared to the Xbox. Oh gosh, it was Xbox One, right? That's the current Xbox.
Yes. Yes? Hello?
Ikora, if you tell me this is a practical joke, well, it kills me to say it, but I would be really impressed.
Impressing you, Cade, is the easiest thing I'll do all day.
Let's get serious, people.
Zavala, this is my serious face. Can't you tell?
Ikora, what have you got?
Someone or something has sabotaged the Skyline defense systems.
And comms have been spotty for the last few hours. Every sensor beyond the wall has gone dark.
Maybe it's just the storm. Maybe it's... What are the set feeds telling us?
Nothing.
Well, that's good, right?
No. I mean, they're not there. There are no satellites.
And that's not good.
Battle stations! Everyone with me, now!
Hang on!
Repeat, tower approach. This is City Hawk 723. Anyone home?
So, not
No
sure what
response
happened.
on any
Tony
channels.
seems to have disappeared.
Even the emergency frequencies. What is going on back there? Remember when I told you that you fly too fast? Forget I said that. Fly fast.
Are you there? Okay. Yeah, I was like, what happened? But I was in a cutscene and I was watching it.
We need to
and I
find
didn't
Zavala,
realize-
Ikora, and Cade.
No, listen, a priority is cutscene number 1. And they were exciting, weren't they?
Yeah, they were intense.
So during the cutscenes, you may have noticed some familiar voices, some familiar voice actors, but actors. Any of them stand out to you?
I don't have the sound on, so.
Oh, okay. Which is a common thing that we do in the gameplay because we won't be able to hear our stellar voices, and so sometimes we'll lower or mute the in-game volume. So for those amazing soundtracks, those amazing voice actors, sometimes we miss out. But I am here to tell you that there were some big names, including Nathan Fillion. He voiced the sort of main kind of badassy hunter guy.
Okay.
As well as, and I don't have his name in front of me, but the actor who was in Fringe. He was the sort of the head federal government guy.
Oh, yeah.
He was great, and the voice of the robot was not played by a famous actor, as far as famous actor from movie or TV screen. But I bring it up because in the first game, famously, Peter Dinklage voiced originally that robot, and he did. I mean, I don't mean to he did badly. He did not do good. He was so monotone, and he got so many complaints that they, before the game finished its second update cycle, they completely scrubbed his voice and replaced it with a generic voice actor.
Huh. That's
It was one of these
weird.
sort of famous little controversies of like, you pulled in this guy's name because he was just Game of Thrones had just become this sort of big thing, and obviously he was recognizable, but they got somebody who obviously didn't care or didn't understand what they were doing.
Yeah. Well.
And please go ahead.
I mean, you would think that he would. No, has he never done voice acting? That seems so weird to me.
Possible, or it's possible just that the subject matter, sort of the sci-fi futuristic thing wasn't his bag. For whatever reason, it was obvious that it was phoned in, and it did not go over well with anybody. And there was such a huge budget to the first Destiny that they were like, you know what, we're not gonna keep this. We're just gonna lose it, which was helpful for them because of course they ended up having DLC and needed more voice acting, and they didn't want to go back to Peter Dinklage anyway.
Yeah. Huh.
One of the common complaints of the original was that there was not a focus on story. That it was very much, here's the thing, it happened, get to it, do the missions, and do the missions with your friends, and do more online missions. But there was never really a sense of satisfaction with the story.
Okay.
That major complaint was addressed in Destiny 2, and most critics generally agree the story is improved compared to the first one.
Okay. That's good.
So, for me, I don't know if anything is jumping out to you, but I immediately get from the opening sort of a Dead Space vibe as well as a Mass Effect vibe.
Yeah, it is kind of really Mass Effect-y. I've never played Dead Space, so I can't really speak to that, but...
Dead Space is much more of a survival horror game, but also set in space and first person. The thing about both of these games, and Mass Effect in particular, is that it relied a lot on an RPG element of, gaining experience, do this thing, and then you'll be able to level up, and then you can set out a skill tree of what kind of powers you would like, or whether you want to focus on this type of combat. And this game, of course, has a very heavy RPG element. The entire game is basically structured to constantly reward you as to you leveled up your weapon, you leveled up your gear, you leveled up your character. I mean, it's kind of never ending in that respect. It's very much like an MMO in that respect, in that it's designed to keep you going, to constantly be at the top. And then once you get to the top, they'll release another update that, expands it even further. The big thing about MMOs is that if you are coming into it late, you have a lot of catching up to do, and it's up to the developers to either allow you to sort of skip ahead to the good stuff, or to somehow balance a newbie's experience without making them feel like I'm so far behind, there's no point in even getting into this. And it's similar with Destiny too. They want people to be so engaged at high levels, but they have to kind of partition off this sort of single player story and get you enough skills so that you can jump into the multiplayer aspect. I got a chance to dive into about 5 or 6 hours of this before really doing the research, and I got to dive into some of the multiplayer aspect, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I'm going to give you some more review on that, because unfortunately, with around 2 hours, I don't think that you'll get to see much of the multiplayer experience. The tutorial is very long, and it's a lot they're trying to slowly introduce you to, which is great. For our purposes, we'll be able to review a significant portion of this, but you won't be able to experience what it's like, so really getting into teamwork with other players. And of course, we have the curse of constantly doing tutorial levels. That's sort of a thing. We're always starting new games. We're always being told how to do this. And so a lot of our initial reactions are, how well does the game tell you outright, or visually tell you, or actually lead you into understanding the mechanics? And how is the HUD display? How is all the information being presented to you? So I know you're still early stages, but initially, are you overwhelmed? Are you like, okay, I'm getting this?
Yeah, it's not too overwhelming at this point. I think it's okay. I don't really know yet, like, how to tell where my health is at, or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's, I think it's at the top, maybe?
Yeah.
But I
I think that's your health bar.
Yeah. But I like that the instructions so far have been helpful, but not like what was that last game we played where it was like pause the whole game and like take up the whole screen? And I was like,
it was Dead by Daylight, wasn't it? It actually paused the game to say, push this, move forward.
And you couldn't skip it, so every time you like died or started a new level, it was the exact same thing in the tutorial, and it was like, no, I know, honey.
Yeah.
We already went over this.
Yeah, and it was frustrating that the game didn't retain, and this was, the same playthrough, and why are you telling me this again? Yeah. So, this game is not old. The Destiny 2 came out originally in September 6th of 2017.
Okay.
And there have been several expansions. The first was called Curse of Osiris, came out in December of 2017. Second expansion was called Warmind, came out in May of 2018. And the third expansion, which I've already mentioned, is called Forsaken. And so, this game is still active as far as the development cycle. Okay. And there was a heavy push on getting new players in for Forsaken. Not only was this game given for free as part of PS Plus, but we mentioned Spider-Man earlier in the pre-intro sequence. Spider-Man also came packaged with Destiny 2, the base game, if you pre-ordered Spider-Man 2. Oh. So there's been a huge push towards getting people at least with the base game of Destiny 2.
Interesting.
And I should also put a little asterisk here. We are not playing Destiny 2 Forsaken or any of the DLCs today. We are playing the base game of Destiny 2. That's what was offered for free for PS Plus. So we will not be diving into or really discussing the other packs. And that's significant because that's what everyone is talking about. They're talking about Forsaken.
Yeah.
How has it changed things? How is that, gameplay making the... That's the current sort of games for service in the Destiny 2 world, and we're not going to be discussing it. But what Destiny 2 is, according to the PlayStation description, is an action shooter that takes you on an epic journey across the solar system. In the cinematic campaign, you'll enter a world filled with compelling characters and fight to take back our home. Battle alongside friends with multiple cooperative modes, or challenge others in intense multiplayer matches. There are the following bullet points: a rich cinematic story campaign, multiple cooperative game modes for epic social fun, intense 4 vs 4 competitive multiplayer matches, including 5 different PvP modes, expansive never-before-seen worlds and spaces to explore. I feel like a salesperson slapping the hood of that car like in the meme. And this baby's got customizable character weapons and armor with an all-new array of gear. It goes on, raids, challenges, missions, public events, blah, blah, blah. It's got a lot. They have to include a lot to do to get you to continue to play this game, because where they make their money is not in the sale of this game. They're giving away Destiny 2 like hotcakes. The base game costs $19.99.
Oh, wow.
Everything that makes money is the cosmetic gear that you can purchase in this game, all those microtransactions, or the continuing DLC packs, or whatever.
Oh, wow, you can, like, jump in midair? Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, what are you jumping on?
I've always assumed that in games like this, it's probably like a little rocket boost at the bottom of your boots or something.
Your boots have
keeps tagging these Cabal as Red Legion.
Now, Mario, couldn't tell you. He's a wizard.
He's like a magician.
And rumor is they have never known defeat.
That goes back to our wizard magician.
I don't know, the way you said it was such wonder. It sounded like you were high or something. He's like a magician.
Well, he is. Where am I supposed to go? Oh, here.
I like to think that I spend enough time in all of the games that we play that I'm pretty researched and I know what I'm talking about. This game, the gameplay didn't confound me, but the history and what this game means and sort of the history of games for service, it confounded me. I spent a lot of time researching this, and I played a lot of this game because I really wanted to get a good grasp. I didn't want to misspeak about what Destiny 2 is, because Destiny 2, Overwatch to some extent, the other game, oh gosh, the one that's set in New York and like a disease has affected everybody. What is that game called? It escapes me, but it doesn't matter. But we have entered a new gaming space. We've left sort of the open world deluge of games, and we have entered this mix between an MMO and a single player game.
Yes.
I'm pausing because you've died, which
Yes.
I died here as well.
I think you're supposed to.
It is very possible. Yeah.
It felt like I couldn't like do anything about it. It was just like suddenly I was dead, like without.
You rated it on. That's doing a really good job.
Oh my gosh, Tony.
I know. Not in the game. I didn't notice that was where you're supposed to die, and that very well could be. It's a good call.
Yeah, it was just like all of a sudden there was like this blast that I couldn't like. I didn't see it coming, and there was no way to.
And that's nice. The fact that I didn't notice kind of indicates like, hey, we're teaching you something in a scripted event, but we're doing it in such a way that it doesn't
You don't
seem
know that
so.
it's scripted, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to get into, I was trying to catch up with these people, you know, because they're here like defending this thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, as soon as I got to like the right outside like the protection spell or whatever that was put up, like it was just like, no, you're dead. I was like, what? Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah. And this, of course, is we're in the single player campaign, we're in the tutorial, but the way that they have set up this mission, it feels like what a multiplayer event feels like. And I played a lot of them, not a lot, I played a good amount to get a good idea of what the multiplayer feels like, and this sequence felt like it. And so that was nice that they were sort of like introducing you to, you know, hey, listen, we want to introduce you to what the multiplayer feels like, so here's a taste of that without forcing you into that mode.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Yeah. This game has so much trivia I wrote down. I'm not going to go into all of it, but you should know that this did win a lot of awards. It was nominated and won the Game Awards of 2017 and the Game Critic Awards of the same year. So, you know, this game was not only recognized as being better as the first one, but it, you know, it was at the time considered to be sort of the best of what this game does. One of the major things that they tried to improve was matching you with other players at the same skill level.
Okay.
And that was a big deal because there was controversy at the time of other games trying to match you with players that were specifically better than you. And the way that it did that is it would match you with somebody who had like loot that you had to buy, or you had to open a bunch of loot boxes to get.
Geez.
And the idea was, and this was found out through trade documents, was that this was something that they had developed on purpose to influence you psychologically to want to get those things because you saw another player in action.
That's ridiculous.
And when this was discovered, their argument was, well, we're also rewarding the people who bought the stuff by putting them with lesser players and making them feel like, you know, gods. And there was a lot of sort of negativity around that.
That's really gross.
The last of the shuttles is away.
Yeah.
But the speaker, he never made it.
Like, I know, I'm pretty sure we've talked about this whole loot box, loot stuff before, and like, you know, how it's basically like random number generators, and a lot of European countries are equating it to gambling and like banning them and stuff, and like, you know, it's one thing to have like just fun stuff in loot boxes that doesn't affect your gameplay, like what Overwatch does. It's just cosmetics. It's only cosmetics. But like having things that like make you a better player, or like, you know, armor or weapons or whatever, upgrade. Any type of upgrade being exclusive to like a loot box that you have to pay for feels really cheap to me, and it's just kind of gross.
Yeah, I hear you. You know, it's to me, it's like when you enter a single player campaign and you want to experience the game and you want to be kind of cheap about it, and you just want to get through it, you play it on easy mode or very easy mode, you know. And that's a way to experience the game without having to spend your entire life mastering it on a harder difficulty. But what feels anger-inducing about the multiplayer version of that, which is, you know, get this legendary gear that'll make you, you know, so powerful that you don't have to worry about it, is that you have to pay for that. Yeah. It's not like you can just click on very easy mode, you know?
Right.
And you're losing out potentially on the challenge, and that's your decision. The frustrating thing is because it's multiplayer and there's a sense of fairness and the sense of, you know, we also want to make money on these transactions, it's become something more sinister.
Yes.
Now, this is a big aside. This is not to say that Destiny 2 is doing this, because as far as I can tell, there was a lot of focus on not doing that kind of thing in this game. And there was a focus on making sure that people were evenly matched and you didn't feel that way. And as well, a lot of the stuff that you're getting here is cosmetic. So there's not, you know. So, yay for Destiny 2 on that part. So what character type did you end up choosing?
Hunter.
Nice.
What did you play as?
I did do Hunter as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Though I was tempted by Warlock. I always liked the Warlock character. I liked the long distance.
Yeah.
thing, and you know, I think it fits my play style. But I went with Hunter, not because I thought you would do it, but I felt like it was almost like the most expected choice.
Yeah. I really like this like supercharged move.
Yeah, yeah.
Like your like gun catches fire and like crazy things happen.
Yeah. The gameplay is fun. You know,
Yeah.
it's a first-person shooter. You would think that would be like, yeah, I've done that before, but you know, it feels good. It feels mechanics feel good, and it feels like there's enough variety that you feel like you're accomplishing something.
Mm-hmm.
You won't get to experience a lot of this, but you level up as you play. There's so many ways that you level up in this game. It's almost to the point where it's like you would need to dedicate your mental faculties just to this game and really not go to any others, because you have your regular experience points to level up your character, right?
Okay.
You have 3 different characters that you can have at any one time. So you can do, if you wanted, your Hunter playthrough, the Warlock playthrough, and the Titan playthrough, because you're allowed to do, you know, the 3.
Right.
And of course, there are multiple species you can choose from.
Mm-hmm.
You have the power caps on the levels depending on which mode you've purchased. Just the base game is 20, then you've got, you know, 30, and I think it goes up to, 30 is the highest so far. You also have power levels, which in Destiny 1 was called light level, and there's a brief explanation as to why that's changed. I don't see why they bothered, but, you know, it's power level now. And the power level is associated with your equipment. The higher your power level is, the better equipment you can put on. And I guess it's a way of gatekeeping, of saying, even if you manage to find some super high-powered gear, you can't just put it on. You have to wait until you... Yeah. The current maximum power level is 385, and the current maximum level is 30, for those who wanted to know that information.
Okay. This seems to be going on forever. Is there something I'm meant to be doing that I'm not, or do I just stay here?
Yeah, there is a goal on the screen. It's indicated by kind of a white dot with a gray outline. Yeah. So this is a great way to learn battling and to get that extra point. But if you do want to move forward, just
yeah, I guess they didn't really make that clear. It was like, hold this thing until thing, and I was like, all right.
I'm holding.
I'm holding down the fort,
Hello?
guys.
Anybody?
Someone help me! I got this fort.
Everyone's at lunch and they're like, "Where's Lauren?"
What?
Did you tell her to come? Because
Did she know? There's like a janitor. Hi, robot janitor.
Hello.
Hello, mate.
Oh, it's funny because it's futile.
Ikora, the speaker is gone.
You know what else is a futile endeavor that we do anyway?
What's that?
Trophies!
Trophies! Tell me about them, please.
Trophies are those little things that pop up in the top left or top right of your screen, depending if you're playing PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3 respectively, to indicate that you have done some sort of accomplishment, or unlocked something, or found some secret that developers have put in there to enhance the gameplay experience. Available in the form of trophies in the PlayStation Network, and available as achievements in the Xbox Network, we try and get trophies as part of our gameplay here. So let's talk a little bit about what trophies Destiny 2 has to offer.
Yes, please.
That's pretty good, right? Off the top of my head, it sounded pretty scripted. I agree. Very good job. Okay,
Nicely
from
done.
PSNprofiles.com. PSNprofiles.com being a trophy hunters aggregation site. What does that mean? Well, that means that a bunch of nerds who like to collect trophies put their stats into that site and track each other. They kind of, you know, compete against each other for who's got the most trophies, what's all the data associated with the trophies that you've gotten, blah, 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 blah. But it's a great resource for us. That site indicates that this game has 1 platinum trophy. At 15.77% rare, it's actually not too difficult to achieve the platinum trophy.
Okay.
11 gold, 2 silver, and no bronze, for a total of 14 trophies, this game is worth 1,230 points.
There's only
There
14
is one
trophies.
DLC package with trophies. That's the Forsaken one, and that is 2 silver and 8 bronze.
That's not very many trophies.
Also, 0 bronze trophies
Huh.
on a game that has a platinum trophy. I have never seen that before. In all of my days of gaming, not once. So what's up with that, you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just think. You know what? I couldn't answer you.
I think what it is, and this is speculation, I could be wrong. Who knows? I think that they really don't want there to be trophies in this game. I think the developers of this were like, listen, we're here to do our thing. We're Microsoft-based company. We don't really give a shit about your trophy system, and we don't want to have to code around it, especially because we change the way our game operates every so months. We have different modes, we have different campaigns, we change up the whole damn thing once we do a DLC package. If we're coding 50, 60 trophies, we may, X one out by accident, which has happened in other game series. And spoilers, it kind of happened with this game series as well.
Wait, I'm sorry.
So I think that they,
I was trying to read what was happening. What happened with this game series? I'm sorry.
No, you're all good. Basically, with games for service, trophies become kind of a secondary thought because they change the way their game operates in a drastic way, kind of frequently. And every 6 months or so, they're doing a new campaign or they're retooling the way that something works.
Okay.
So if you have a trophy list of 60, 70 trophies, and then one of them is like, play Bob the Ball version, and then they take away Bob the Ball, and you can't get the Bob the Ball trophy.
Yeah, I think so. It's funny that you mention it because there is one trophy in Overwatch that people were sort of up in arms about because there was a character who made teleporters.
Okay.
And one of the trophies was to destroy 4 of her teleporters throughout the game. And the teleporters was like her ultimate move. And it made obviously getting back to the fight a lot easier and a lot faster. And so at some point her character had a rework and she could either make a teleporter or make a shield generator. And most people chose the shield generator over the teleporter, but the trophy remained destroy 4 teleporters in a game. Well, it's rare that someone's going to make 4 teleporters in a game for you to destroy.
Let us know when the shields are down and we'll hit that ship
So,
with
but they kept the
everything we
trophy
got.
the same. But then the character got another rework, and now teleporters is just her normal, that's one of her just special moves. It's not her ultimate. It's just something she can do after a
regularly,
however many second cooldown. It's just a thing. So so I don't know if that I haven't earned that trophy, so I don't know how that works, if it still is an issue, but yeah, I know people were like, what
Yeah, and as much as you and maybe you more than I think, trophies are fun, and they're fun to try and achieve, but they're not the main focus of most gamers.
Right.
When you mess up a trophy like that, the community does get upset.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about the trophy collecting, it's about, this is an element of your game, and you don't care enough to make sure that it works correctly, and that's frustrating.
Yep.
So I think that Destiny 2 tried to sidestep the entire thing by just limiting themselves to the high-end trophies and then not worrying about the piddly stuff. But despite doing that, they still messed it up. There is...
Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to tell you, and we're kind of skipping a little ahead to the trophies and trophies section of the show, in which I talk about what trophies are great, what trophies are not so great. Here we go. The trophy name. Trophy is called Lest Ye Be Judged. You get this trophy by encountering an emissary from beyond. You have to complete the Trials of the Nine, which is a high-intensity PvP game mode only available on the weekends. And you need a 4-person group to access that mode. Everyone needs to have completed a quest called Shaxx's Quest, and they have to have at least the power level of 260. So those are a lot of requirements right there just to access the mode, okay? 4 people, very high level, having completed it pretty far into the game on a weekend.
Yep.
That's a lot. Well, because this is a game for service, they have retooled the way the game works.
Right.
We are currently in season 4 of this game experience. We have seasons now. That's how this works.
Yeah.
So we're in season 4. During season 4, that entire mode is unavailable.
Really?
So if you've played for the past 5 months, you simply cannot get that trophy. It is not possible.
Huh.
It's supposed to be that that mode will come back when season 5 begins in December of 2018. But that is so shitty.
Yeah.
It makes me angry that they would do that.
Yeah.
And their solution would be, oh, just wait till the next season.
Just wait. Yeah. That's awful.
It is awful. And it makes me feel like not only did they kind of goof, but their solution is, oh, just come back in a couple months and play us again. It's got this arrogance to it that really turns me off. And it's one of the most negative things that I could have to say about this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. That's pretty shitty.
What's your status?
Yeah. And I care about the trophies. Obviously, that's my thing.
Right.
I like completing the lists. I like getting 100%. I like getting platinum. I like feeling like I've done all the things that developers have told me to do to complete their game. But when your game is a game for service and you're constantly changing it, and you're basically deciding that this trophy is no longer valid, well then change your fucking trophy.
Part of me wonders. Wait, what? Did this come out only on PS4, or is it available on the Xbox One?
No, it's very much one. It's made by a subsidiary of Microsoft.
Right. So part of me wonders if they have just as few achievements for the Xbox as they do trophies for the PlayStation 4.
That's a good question. I can do a quick Google search while we're talking on the internet.
Sure.
Destiny 2 achievements.
I just need to point out that the vibration in this game is really annoying because it's like constant. I need to turn.
It's almost like, what's the point if I'm constantly
right? Like, and I don't even know what they're trying to alert me to anymore with the vibration. It's like, yeah, we're alerting you that there's these big fucking guns back here that are shooting every 2 seconds. It's like, that's not important to me. Like, I'm not gonna be. Woo. Tell me when there's someone shooting at me when I'm taking damage. That's what I want to know.
Yeah. No, same list of achievements. Yep.
I mean, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, and the same problem with the Xbox version. So it's not a PlayStation kind of FU.
Yeah.
It's just we don't care about trophies and achievements. You know, it really bugs me. You know, one of those things that's my pet peeve, and I feel bad for trophy hunters. But, you know, it's not all negative. Here's the trophy yay. Zavala's Lieutenant is the name of the trophy, and you acquire each Titan subclass to get this trophy. So, what I like about this is that there is an attempt not to force you into grinding the game for each individual class. So, you know, you get the Hunter subclass, the Titan subclass, and the Warlock subclass, and you would think, oh shit, I have to play this 3 times to unlock all the damn things. Well, no. A subclass is unlocked after completing the mission Shard, which is pretty quick in the game. You might even get to it in your gameplay. You might not, but you might. And then to unlock the 2 additional classes, you just need to be around level 7. And then level 14 will unlock additional random chests to unlock the second one. So, you know, their anticipation is that you can get this all without having to regrind an entire game. You get it pretty early on. So it's nice that they force you to get a taste of what each mode is, but not force you into the long haul of it.
That's nice.
You know, and so I like that forethought. I like that they want you to experience their game, but don't want you to feel like, you know, now you must play for another 80 hours.
Yeah. No, I enjoy that.
You know, I would love for my job to be a trophy advisor of some kind, because I think that there's so many games that get trophies right, but in the same list they'll also get it wrong. And it's like, if we could just take all the good elements from all the games and use it as a guide, I really feel like you could do this well and have a list that, you know, enhances the experience for everybody.
Yeah.
So, well, if you're looking to get just a whole bunch of trophy pops in this game, it's not going to happen. There are no bronze trophies, one of which is currently unobtainable, and hopefully in the next season it will become so. But, you know, I would not get this game for trophies. I get this game because you like what Destiny 2 has to offer, and you like games for service.
Sure.
And there's plenty of people, you know, look at Fortnite. It's like the most played game.
Yeah.
Hard stop. And it has no trophies. It's completely games for service. It's constantly updating and changing. It's not ever the same static experience. So.
I gotta say, I do like the gameplay of this game. I enjoy that a lot. I don't normally like first-person shooters, so this is a weird thing for me to enjoy this.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, weird in a good way.
No,
I'm not saying the game is weird or anything. I'm just saying like it's not typical of me to like. Weird.
And to be honest, I would say maybe there's 4 different things that the game really kind of offers you. And the sort of first-person combat, of course, is the primary one. And they're doing a good job of tutorialing you on it and making it fun. But you haven't experienced the MMO portion. You haven't experienced the NPCs and the town and gaining resources and choosing paths. You haven't done any of that yet. So, you know, we're not even close to touching what this game fully is.
The shield generator should be straight ahead.
I would say other than that, this game is also a multiplayer experience. It's also, you know, capture the flag and kill as many of your enemies while you're on a team. It's that sort of classic thing as well. And how many games have that? I mean, it's just clone after clone of that thing. But I played it for hours. I played hours of that mode. I had a lot of fun. I don't know what it was. I just felt like, yeah, I'm doing things. I don't feel completely overshadowed. And maybe that's just the way they were matching me, but it felt good.
Yeah, it's nice when you get matched with people who like actually have the same skills as you.
Yeah. Or at least somewhere around you where you feel like you're either, you know, you can guide people or you can feel like, oh, I'm not so much of a dunce.
Yeah. Like, oh, I fit in here. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, destroy the turbines. The shield should fizzle.
I keep trying to remember the name of that game. It's a game, it's like this game, but it's in present day New York. And what is the name of it? It's like I can picture the freaking art design of the title, but I just can't picture the word. What is it?
Wait, it takes place in modern day New York.
Yep.
And it... How do I destroy this? It's an illness that has taken over? I don't... Is that what you're saying?
That's the plot of the game, yeah.
And it's...
I'm looking, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. Let's see here.
How do I destroy these things?
Oh, there's, yeah, down there, it's the actual gear beneath it. Kind of a glowy white gear. It's, it's there, you just have to kind of jump down.
Oh, I have
to...
to
get it kind of under the fan to shoot it.
I see.
Yes.
They didn't really, like, explain that part?
No, they didn't. This is hard to find. My goodness.
Heat levels rising. It's working.
Whoops.
It happens. You'll survive.
I guess I could have run. I should have run, probably.
It'll kill me, but I just can't remember it.
Zavala, we did it. The shields are down. Zavala?
The Division. Tom Clancy's The
Division. That makes sense.
That was killing me. I'm so sorry. And that game to me was the most like, really? We're doing this as a games as a service? Because it felt like present day, modern shooter, kind of spy element. There's no other Tom Clancy game that's been like that. And it was much more of a, you know, you're on a team and you're all trying to do the same thing and go into the unknown zone and fight legendary things. And it felt like the people were just shooting people. It's not like these are aliens or supervillains or... It just felt like thematically it didn't work for me. But, you know, the Division made money, so who am I to say anything? Okay, so you have now created the Triumph, which is the tutorial level. So you now have combat basically down.
Welcome to
Okay.
And here's where they basically say, you are not in a good place, we're the bad guys, go, you know, to the lowest point possible and build yourself back up to defeat us in 50 hours.
Something's wrong.
Kind of reminds me of Tali. Tali Zora Vast Normandy.
Yeah, from Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Do not look at me.
Well, you know, what can you do? Thanos is here to take away your fun.
You are weak. Undisciplined.
He looks like it, doesn't he?
Yep.
A little bit.
Walls. You're not
Less purple, but he's got a little purple there.
merely forgotten the fear of death. Allow me to reacquaint you.
How does he walk through doors?
Sideways. While
Look
crouching.
how high those things.
Yeah. Sideways while
So-
crouching. He just crawls through. He doesn't even bother standing up. No, he has all of his spaceships retrofitted with bigger doors.
But like, sir, this outfit is just not practical. It's like, I look fantastic. Redesign the ship around me.
Yep. Ooh, title screen finally.
Crazy, right?
An hour in.
Yeah, exactly. We're an hour in and we've just beat like the pre-credit.
What's that called on a TV show? The cold open or whatever.
The cold open. I love it. So, 1 hour in, what's your initial impressions of Destiny 2?
I like what I've seen so far. The gameplay is pretty good. It's very intuitive, I think, as far as like the shooting parts go. And like, I don't know, it's fun. It's fun. The whole like supercharged bit and then like, you know, I don't know, it's good.
Yeah.
I like the weapons.
Yeah. It is kind of fun. I mean, it's enjoyable. They spent the time to make something that was fun, but the thing is, you really haven't gotten into the meat and potatoes of the game yet.
Right.
It's kind of a massive game.
This cutscene is really freaking me out. I don't know what's going on here, man.
Yeah, this cutscene is very like, hey, take this tab of acid and like, sit back and watch what Square Enix put together for you. Even though it's not Square Enix.
Right,
very
like,
Square
it's
Enix
definitely,
type of-
yeah.
Not to be a total bummer, and no, this is not related at all, but did you hear about Nobuo Uematsu?
No.
He's the composer of like a ton of the Final Fantasy games. He's like a mainstay in the composing community. And he was doing a concert series where he was going around and sort of doing orchestral versions of his music. He got really sick and had to cancel his tour, and now everyone's nervous that he's like really sick.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it just, you know, as far as video game music, and that's something that I've had a passing interest in, you know, I've downloaded various albums and played things, you know, as a nerd. That's what we do
As
as
nerds do, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, he was a big part of that for me, so it definitely felt like, oh no, dude. Your mortality affects my mortality. I don't like that.
Yeah, nope.
I would like to point out that I really, really, really hate this trope in video games. I really don't like this. I'm injured. The best way to represent that is to have me move at
really
a fucking snail's
slow.
pace through a giant map.
Where there's lots of things that can kill you.
You know, in other games, they do this in a cutscene. They do like the, I'm crawling on the ground and, you know, oh my god. And then you come back to your gameplay and then you're sort of in the normal HUD again.
Yeah.
But and so I understand why you want to do this, is you want to represent in the same medium that you do in the regular game, you know, how effed you are. But if it's at the cost of slowing down the action to a crawl like this, I'll pass. I mean, it's I find it boring.
I agree. I do
No, crawl.
find it interesting that they switched to third person for this part, though.
I didn't even notice that, and you're absolutely right, they did. Huh. And now that I think about it, a lot of what you're about to experience is all in third person, because there's a lot of NPCs coming up, and sort of bartering, and, you know, communication systems, and a lot of that's third party. I wonder if they really are making a distinction between the modes by a third and first party. That's interesting.
What? There
I
was
love that you
another.
notice these things.
There was another game that did that. I feel like that we played, or maybe not. Maybe I'm making things up.
No, I think you might have been right. It was that weird game, and I don't remember the name of it, and I feel really bad because I should. But it's the first one that you jumped and you got stuck in the environment, and we laughed about it for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. God, what was that game?
I don't know, but all I remember is that I was like, what do we do? You jumped into the void.
We've taken the city.
Oh my god.
Traveler.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of that game, but I know what you're talking about. That one was the one that switched between perspectives? I don't remember.
I think so, because you entered dungeons and then you went into first person mode.
Oh, yeah. Yup.
I don't think I'm talking out my butt. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah, I don't remember. I have a bad memory. You could be right. You probably are right.
Let's go with I'm right. I like the way that sounds.
Yeah, that's a nice thing to hear, right?
Rendezvous coordinates. They're evacuating the planet.
But look, you're in first person again.
Yeah, and I'm healed because that little, like, flash of light was like, oh, it's you.
You did it. You're the best. That flash of light is a little robot companion called Ghost. Just to be technical.
I get it. Wait, did I stay here for like hours and hours? Wait, I'm somewhere else?
I guess.
I don't understand. Why am
So
I...
you've been exploring for days.
Why
Welcome.
Why am I carrying my gun like this when it's empty?
It looks like you're pointing it directly at your face. It looks like you're pointing it directly at your face.
Oh, what's down here?
I follow a lot of video game channels when I get a chance. There's one of which that focuses exclusively on taking the camera outside of normal bounds.
Okay.
And there was a funny segment on Doom, because the latest Doom, in which they took the camera outside of the first person, which is normally stuck in, and essentially the way that the guy holds the gun, it's so comical. It's like at a 90-degree angle to his body, and no matter if you're looking up or down, the body maintains that 90 degrees. So like, there are multiple times that you'll point the gun at the ground, and the body just like floats parallel to the ground to make that
That's
work.
funny.
It's just so ridiculous. But I've also learned that a lot of the times when you do first-person mode, when it can switch back and forth, is that what they'll do to accomplish that is they'll shrink the head really tiny, or they'll shove the head inside the cavity so there's just no head there. Which is, you know, it's a very weird looking if you look at it in third party,
Yeah.
third person.
Melee the shit out of these war beasts.
Oh my gosh, I loved meleeing in multiplayer mode because I feel like it's one of those things that I guess is not expected. And so whenever I would do it to somebody who clearly was a very talented player,
Right.
I could almost feel like, did he just melee me?
Dude, my favorite part of Overwatch is when someone is low on health and like you're reloading, just meleeing them and killing them. Like, it is so satisfying because people don't expect it.
Yeah, it's like melee is this forgotten thing that you can do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, what just happened?
But like you and I are just brutal and we like it up and close.
Yeah, I enjoy close combat sometimes.
CQC.
So in Overwatch, one of my favorite characters is D.Va, and she's the one that is like the mech. She's the mecha. And if you play, if your mecha takes enough hits, it explodes, and then you're just like D.Va pilot, and you're just like a tiny girl wandering around the map with like a small gun, and people don't expect her to do a lot of damage because she's like tiny and she just has this silly gun that goes pew pew pew. But man, if you headshot with that thing, you take people out so quickly, and they just like, what just happened?
I love it.
Yeah,
I love
it's
it.
great. It's great.
That's great. But there's a nice little sweeping vista we got going on here. You know, we need new wallpaper or some shit like that.
Excuse me.
No, it's okay. The action has gone from 100 to 0, which is fine, I guess. But
I mean,
it is a
it's
little
alright. It was unexpected.
Yeah, and I do feel like the game was trying to basically say, listen, you're alone now, the world is against you, and look, there's dogs, or porcupine dogs, or, you know, we're not clear on what they are, but
We
the
don't know what
focus
they
is...
are, but we're gonna have them attack you.
That's right. And I understand thematically why they've done this, but it does feel also like, maybe you could have accomplished this with a cutscene. Like, I want to get to the point of this game, and instead you're trying to force me into this like thematic, mechanical introduction to what is happening, and it just doesn't work for me. And I hate to say, like, I know normally you say to me at some point, like, okay, but Tony, guide me towards the trophy. And you're taking the only path that is available. It's not like I can guide you towards anything. And there's no bronze trophies for, like, stand for 3 hours in a field alone, push no buttons. There's no trophy like that.
Yeah.
So.
Which kind of makes us odd. Like, you know, like if we get like I mean, it's fine, but like those bronze trophies are our bread and butter, you know?
And for us, they definitely are.
Yeah.
But I think also for regular players, I think, if you're playing a game and every once in a while you get that little bronze pop and it says like, hey, you killed 5 guys, or you died a couple times, or you beat the tutorial level. I feel like it's a nice way of being like, oh yes, I'm playing as intended. I have done the thing, I've been introduced to this game, and I should keep moving forward and expect more rewards. This game is like, nope, fuck it. Beat the game entirely and we'll give you a trophy, and that's it. It's like, geez, okay. And there's a balance. I don't want a trophy for pushing the star button.
Yes.
Oh, look. Somebody left a perfectly good guardian lying around. Things must be worse than I thought. And that's our cue.
I mean, I kind of do, because, like, I'm not really a trophy hunter, so the easiest way to give trophies is just give them to me, you know? But, like...
As far away from here as possible.
But you're right. Pushing start. Although, that could be funny. What was that? You always tell me about this game that has, like... Was it Deadpool? Is that the one where it's like... Yeah. Where it's like
the name's Hawthorne. And this is
I liked it because it had commentary. It was like, here's a trophy, and then you got a second trophy for unlocking the first trophy.
Right.
Deadpool's an asshole. I love it.
Yeah, it's funny.
Time to make yourself useful.
The final trophy to that game, the platinum, I think it's like, you got all the trophies, and then the subtext is, congratulations, you can now sell this game. I don't know. Deadpool is a great character, in my opinion. And before the movies are fine. I love them. They're great. Everyone loves them. But I just love that character. I love that fourth wall breaking character. I just think he's great. Okay, so all of this 11 minutes of gameplay was, I'm telling you, it was just to get you from this frenetic action into welcome to essentially the home base.
Well, okay, that should have... You're right, that should have just been a cutscene. That should have just been a cutscene. Like, yes, I get it, I'm damaged. And I need... Okay.
And it's not like you spend a lot of time traversing any field, because you'll notice that once you get past the, hi, I'm the leader, hi, I'm the shopkeep bullshit that you're about to go into, then it's like, oh, if you'd like to go on a mission, push X next to this ship, and then you'll be instantly transported where we want you to go. And it's like, well, what is the point of me walking the entire sequence then?
Is the completion of the cage around this great machine. Then we may be.
Meanwhile, Steady and Bebop here had their own cutscene together.
Put it to its rightful use. They call it the Traveler. I would contend that other
his teeth being that exposed was
precise in
yeah, that's too much gums.
its functions.
Right? I just feel like I want to be like, oh, but no, put some saran wrap on it or something. do what Alien Bane is doing here. Cover that shit up.
Dominus.
Alien Bane.
We have spent our lives.
Or like what?
Do you think he puts that on every day? That thing?
Yeah, he must. Unless he must.
I guess. These are the questions I have. I have very specific, like, what's happening here? Is this a breathing apparatus? Is this a fashion statement? Is he have a disability? Am I being an asshole? Is he just disabled in some way?
He's just self-conscious about his too much gums.
Maybe.
Maybe they're like...
he has too little gums, and that's...
Oh, right. Like he doesn't want anyone to know that he has not as much gums as everyone else.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe their weak spot is in their mouths.
Maybe his outfit is like designed to draw away from his gums.
Yeah, cause look, that mask is like digging into his flesh, like.
I know. What is the purpose of that mask?
Like, it's gotta hurt. He just like self-torture, cause you gotta think like that's probably also how they eat, right? Their mouths. So.
I mean, I can only think of one other orifice, and it doesn't seem pleasant.
No. So like, does he not eat? Does he have a feeding tube? Does he take that mask off every day and then dig it back into his flesh again? Like, I want to know these things.
Bungie, if you need help writing Destiny 3, I think you know who to call.
Gonna be our new home
European Dead Zone.
Look, do you recognize
So, Scotland?
That's where we're supposed to go.
That thing? They call it the Shard of the Traveler. I call it not a place you want to go poking around.
That whole section was yawn-worthy.
This section did, like, it died. I mean, it was like, okay, Jesus, like, what was the point of this interlude?
Mm-hmm.
And I really do feel like it was Destiny's, it was Bungie's response of like, oh, I'm sorry, do we not have enough story for you? Well, here's all the story we can freaking cram in.
What was that game that we played? Where there were aliens, and it was like the move-based game? The turn-based game?
The move-based game?
The turn-based game, yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. That game was SOCOM 2, I think.
Yes. So that sort of had a similar? Kind of.
Same similar.
Samely similar. It had, so it started off where you like in a fight or whatever, and then like the very next thing was like, figure out how this spaceship works. Don't go do a thing. It was like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It was like action. Not that the action was like action-y because it was turn-based or whatever, but like,
right.
Then all of a sudden it was like, here's how we do research things.
I'm sorry.
And you were like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
No, you're right. And if you're looking for action right now, well, you're not gonna get it. This is NBC talking time of like,
I understand
1,000 years ago, the Great War between the Alphas and the Betas began. The Betas had the blue crystal of knowledge, and the Alphas had the yellow crystal of war. You know, that bullshit. It's
yeah.
Like, okay, I appreciate that you've made an effort here, but it's like, show, don't tell, man.
Yeah.
When you play Skyrim, when you play those kinds of games, and there's like, oh, open this book of the lore of the poetry of the 14th medieval. Do you read that stuff? Do you get into that, or
sometimes
no?
I do. Sometimes sometimes I'll just like page through them, and like, there's like, you know, something will catch my eye because sometimes there's like hilarious stuff, but usually I don't.
Yeah. Like, I know they hired somebody. They hired some nerd, which I love nerds, not an insult. They hired some nerd to like invent an entire back lore and go in depth. But I wonder how many people care. I wonder how many people actually sit and read that stuff and appreciate it. And I don't think the number's very high, and I feel like it's such a wasted effort.
You know, I think the number is probably higher than you think it is. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you go to like the Skyrim subreddit, you'll see people talking about reading the books, or like, I think I saw a post once how someone had like read, like, because you know they break them up into parts sometimes because like there's a lot or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like this guy volume 2 or whatever. Then like somebody said they went through and they read the whole story of like one of them or whatever. I don't know. I think it's higher than you give them credit for.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I'm actually happy to hear that that's true. I want this stuff to be cared and appreciated, but like for me, I felt like I'm in the middle of a dungeon. There's a giant spider behind me and an orc in front of me. I'm not going to read about the bards of Narnia right now. It's just not going to happen. And when I get back to my tavern and I heal, that's not going to be the first thing I'm going to do either. I'm not going to have lugged this book back with me. I guess just for me, I feel like there's never a correct place tonally for it, and I think that here in Destiny 2, they have sort of crammed in a whole, now, I hope you've enjoyed yourself, but now we're having quiet story time, and it's like, okay. And it's not the same problem as Kingdom Hearts, because Kingdom Hearts has this generic problem of fight, action, now sit down for this 30-minute movie until the next action. But at least tonally, it feels like there's one continuing narrative. It's like
Right.
the action relates to the story, and the story relates to the action. And I don't, even though I would like to be playing more and watching less, I do feel like, you know, they're all connected. And here, I don't feel like it's so connected.
No.
What you're doing now is you're learning kind of the level up concept, the how to access multiplayer, how to access all the world. This is the hub. And this is where we typically get to in a game before we're able to really jump into trophies.
Mhm.
You're highlighting right now the Destiny 2 Forsaken thing,
Yeah.
which you can't access because you haven't purchased. And, you know, mixed opinions on that. Like, should that even be there?
Yeah.
It's basically a big advertisement and one of those, like, you'll never be able to complete this if you don't buy. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Oops. There was a person up there that I was meant to talk to. Going back.
I do like your character design.
Yeah, she's pretty great.
Let's do the thing.
Yeah, my character is pretty hot.
What can I do for
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Kind of a little blue, some nice facial tattoos.
Nice. Nice.
What can I say? I spent time.
Oh, I know you do.
I love character design. It's like my favorite thing.
What? Do you read the description on this refugee vest? Well, you've
No,
looked better, but hey, you've looked worse.
That's funny. I actually like that. Yeah, it's actually really funny.
Careful out there.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Here's another thing. You know, you've been saved in a way in this refugee camp, and because this is a multiplayer game, you'll soon see if you get to the next stage that this camp will have a bunch of real life multiplayer people in the camp as well. And I think it undercuts the message of you, Guardian. You will be the savior of our kind.
Yeah.
You know, we needed you. We were barely holding out until you get here. But then you come back and there's like 50 other ones of you all jumping around and waving and shit.
Right.
It undercuts it in such a way that it feels silly. It feels like, okay, do you really need me? Because it seems like you got a lot of 13-year-olds here to handle this.
Oh my goodness. Alright, Tony. How long till I get a trophy? Because I'm on the verge of sleep.
I played this game for 5 hours and I never got a trophy.
Oh my gosh, really?
I want you to start the next mission. So if you walk towards the ship, I think you can then get to the next mission, because I think that sort of ends thematically what we're doing here for the tutorial.
Okay.
So if the old lady didn't give you a quest or a clear guide, I think you can just walk up to the ship and then start it. Pretty sure. If not, then maybe that map and going to the farm does it. I don't quite remember. It's been a couple weeks. But this is the first time where not only am I basically telling you I don't think you get a trophy, I would be very surprised if you do. This game just doesn't have bronze trophies, you know? It doesn't have... It doesn't reward you in that way. Also, why is there a soccer ball there?
Yeah.
It bothered me so much. It felt so anachronistic. I'm like, really? Soccer? They have soccer in this world?
Did you need something?
Oh.
Is that it? Is this the farm? Or you're here already?
Yeah.
Yeah, great ideas.
Okay, try accessing, I guess, the red icon again, and seeing if she'll give you a mission of some kind.
I just returned to orbit.
Okay. Okay. So in a way, you know, whenever you want to quit, you can, because I don't think you're gonna. I don't think you're gonna get anywhere.
All right. I'll play for a little bit longer because I have been enjoying this.
Yeah, no, it is fun. And I don't think, because I also thought, well, maybe I could even join you, but I don't think that I can because I don't think you've unlocked that until you unlock light points again, which you need to do the next level to unlock the light points. Yeah, you see, all that's undone. I mean, I could go into more trivia. I just feel like there's not a whole lot to say because you're not going to be able to experience a lot of it. Mostly this game is about getting into groups of people. 3, 4, 6 players and beating the hard stuff, the really hard like missions that as Guardians you help to stop the whatever Thanos alien. It's, you know, that's the whole point of this. But it's never ending. It's like a constant battle. So if you were looking for a concrete story that has a finite ending, it's not going to happen. Your character is not going to sacrifice themselves in the end. You're not going to lose a love interest, or none of that is going to happen. It'll end as the tide has turned, but there's still much to be done. That's the best ending you're going to be able to hope for. And as a gamer, I like my video games like I like my movies and television shows. I like there to be a story, an arc, a completion. I like to feel like I have interacted in a thing that has ended.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'll play an arcade game, you know, like
Right.
I'll play Space Invaders for 5 hours and not feel like I need that kind of release. And I guess what this game is it is like it's a Space Invader in a way. It's like here's a thing that'll never end, and you always do it, and you know, feel like you can jump in, and in fact we encourage you to jump in all the time. But you know, there's also a story attached. So which experience are you going for? I feel like Destiny 1 was very overtly going for the just come back. And they got criticized and there was no story. So this one has more of a story. But I almost think I prefer it without the story.
No longer knows the light.
Okay.
Not since the Traveler cast it off during the collapse.
And that was my long, rambling rant.
Corrupted.
Imagine I told it like this woman is standing with my fingers like that.
Yeah, your fingertips.
Big
touching.
grand gestures.
Yeah.
You are determined to go. Remember.
Also, I have no corneas. Are her eyes totally white?
No, there's a little bit of black in the middle. Wait. Yes, though. What you're asking. They're totally
They're
white.
creepy, though. They look creepy. Do you think that you would ever come back to this game after we're done here?
Yes. I think I will because I just want to get more of the experience, I guess. I don't know. Can we play the...
I do feel like...
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I don't think you have joined into the main experience yet. And I don't even think that I have, really. I feel like I also just kind of scratched the surface. I would really enjoy playing this game with you. I would really enjoy you and I as a clan and doing a thing together. I think that's the purpose of this game, but I think it just takes a long time to get there.
Losing my connection to the light has been disorienting. Now,
I think you can take
I
that,
understand you seek the shard.
Yeah, I wasn't really like... There wasn't really...
Dreamt of it. It's
I don't know.
jagged.
It wasn't clear.
Edge. A wound that never heals. But I do not trust its pull. Like us, the shard, no.
So then your power point does go up, and there's a maximum you can hit at this point, and as you level up, you can increase the power points. But a lot of the satisfaction that you get in playing this game is like, oh, I killed this enemy. Oh, they jumped a vest. Ooh, it's one more power point more than I have. And so you're always constantly kind of like incrementally building your person, and it is a very satisfying feeling of like, yes, I'm getting even stronger. Like, it's a very nice feeling. Also, do you have a bazooka on your back? What are you carrying?
I don't even know. Some sort of weapon.
Amazing. Yeah, I think it's asking you to talk to the
Yeah.
second floor guru or whoever.
I couldn't remember how to get over there. Alright. Alright.
She's like, the savior is not very good with directions.
This is... whew, a lot of civilization. For me, at least. Of course, I've been living outside the city half my life. So...
I'll give you $5 to bazooka the pigeon. Or eagle, or whatever that is.
No, I'll pass. Thank you.
It would be a new thing. So now I think if you go to the ship and or the thing, you'll see the new mission. Yeah, Earth. E-Earth, I believe it's called.
Earth?
Yep. I remember the Wall-E PlayStation 2 video game.
Really?
It was adorable. You had to go on little missions of the Earth, and you had to clean up trash. It was like a puzzle game. You had to like put them in the right order, and it was also kind of an action game because you had to jump over obstacles. And it was such a silly but faithful recreation of the movie via cleaning up trash. It was so satisfying.
Alright. Let's play the Metacritic game.
The Metacritic game. So Metacritic is a critic aggregator site. If somebody has reviewed a game and they're no name in the gaming industry, well then that was used by Metacritic to come up with an average to help determine if this game was good or not.
It's a sign.
Pretty good description, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm also past the length of time because I lost the script. So what we do here is I'm going to have Lauren give you a number between 0 to 100 to represent what her rating of the game is. We're going to compare that to the Metacritic rating. I'm going to give her the high rating and the low rating after she's given me her score so that she can guess whether she has gone higher or lower than the Metacritic rating. Are you ready to play?
Sure am.
You know,
Give me a score between 0 and 100 and why.
I would give this game an 80.
80. Wow. Tell me why an 80. That's not only passing the grade. That's a B or C. Is that a C?
Yeah, that's a B. It's a B minus.
Okay, B minus.
Okay, well, like I had said, I really like the gameplay. I like the weapons. I like the style of the game. I haven't really gotten further into it, but it sounds like because it's a game for service and because things change frequently, it sounds like this game doesn't get stale, even if they do like make some dumb changes. I feel like I haven't really gotten into the meat of the game, so if I were to play this for longer, my grade might change. But honestly, and like it's not like we've had, you know, there's some parts that just don't make a lot of sense. Like, why did this slow down so much after that like hectic opening, and like why, you know, just like some weird style design gameplay choices. But overall, it's been pretty decent, pretty solid.
That's a great review. Love it. Well, let's see how you stack up to the high end from Metacritic. Here's a reviewer called GameSpace. They said, Destiny 2 is an epic. A story with an ever-expanding scale, made greater by the heroes of whom the story is told, with tragedy, struggle, and redemption. It is very fitting to the score. To accompany it must be 2. And it is. There were moments that I had to put the controller down and simply listen, taking in the scope of what I was experiencing. So this reviewer seems to be overcome by the musical composition, of which we're not experiencing at all, but it was composer Michelle F. April, whose most famous work other than Destiny 2 was his score on Monsters University. Just a little trivia there for you. On the low end, Game Critics said the following. Even if Bungie backtracks on some of these horrendous missteps, there's evidence that the dev team is either flailing around with a clear idea of the experience they want to present, or even worse, they're happy to offer the least amount of mediocre content possible until the player base starts pushing back. When free-to-play titles like Warframe and Let It Die seem monumentally more generous and offer vastly more entertainment value than a AAA $60 release built with a budget large enough to feed whole continents, it's clear that something has gone horribly wrong. So, ouch, that hurt.
Yeah.
What do we think? Based on those two reviews, have you gone higher or lower than the average Metacritic score?
I think I've gone a little bit higher.
Alright, let's see. You have gone, drum roll, 85 is the Metacritic average, which means you actually have gone a little bit lower.
I did go lower.
This game was pretty well liked. It did win 2 awards, like I told you. So even though we've only scratched the surface and we have our little complaints, I think we're pretty much fair with what the consensus is.
Sure. Yeah.
So our final segment, it's time for Is It Worth Downloading? Here's some data to keep in mind before we give our final judgment. From HowLongToBeat.com, here's the time sink. If you want to just play the main experience of this game, you're looking at just 12 hours of gameplay. Just to complete the storyline, get through that. If you want to be all little extra side quest type stuff, you're looking at a full 24 hours of gameplay. But if you wanted to dive into the multiplayer, if you wanted to get into the whole, like, games for service thing, and to get the Platinum Trophy, you're looking at 82.5 hours of gameplay. Disk size is 30.85 gigabytes with a minimum save space of 68 gigabytes on your PlayStation. And that is because this game updates regularly. In fact, we had to start this episode late because of an update that occurred a couple of days after you downloaded this.
Right.
Yeah. The game is $19.99 in the store. It is not available for sale on the PSN network. You can only get it if you're a PS Plus member. Otherwise, you have to get the disc, which is very odd to me, but true. The expansion pass, which will give you the Curse of Osiris and Warmind, is $19.99. And the Forsaken expansion is $39.99. In order to play the Forsaken expansion, you must have the base game, and you must have the 2 other expansions, Curse of Osiris and Warmind. So this is a bit of a moneymaker if you want the full experience. What do you think? Downloadable or no?
Yeah, I think downloadable. Sure.
You seem hesitant.
Well, I mean, okay, it is constantly updating, right? So you always have to make sure that you have the available gigabytes on your I almost said computer. This is not what I'm on your PlayStation 4. And yeah, I mean, I generally think it's a downloadable. Go ahead and download it. I am having fun, and I haven't even really got that far into it, so, like, yeah, download.
Okay. I am going to disagree with you. I don't think this is worth a download.
No?
I think if you already wanted to play Destiny 2, you would own it. I think this is one of those temples of a game. This is something that you either are into or you don't. And if you are on the fence, I don't think that spending the amount of gigabyte space for something that's not going to give you trophies, for something that you need to dedicate yourself to if you really want to make any progress, and you're going to have to spend another $60 just to play where everyone else is playing, I don't think it's worth it.
Well, I mean, and I think for you it's not. Like, sure, for you. But there are people who like this kind of thing and aren't really the trophy hunters, and, like, you know, if this is your kind of jam, sure.
And then it passed them by, and then this is a nice way for them to jump in.
Yes.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, unfortunately...
Lauren, I think, unfortunately, it's time to go.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a trophy, and it's been an hour and 40, so I think it's probably time to call it.
I hear ya. We don't always get the trophy, so in this one it's a womp, but that's okay. Next time we will do our best to achieve.
Yes. Well, next time we'll probably be playing God of War 3, right?
That is correct. That's
awesome.
very exciting. God of War 3 Remastered, which we will be doing live here on Twitch Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, or sometime around there.
Yes, sometime around 7 p.m. And we apologize for the last few weeks of delays. My mom was in town, and then we had a hurricane, so like, you know, life happens. Life happens.
But you know, Lauren, I think it is our destiny to always come back to this.
Are you sure it's not your density? Because like, I think you're pretty dense sometimes.
Where can people watch us if they don't catch us live?
So if you don't catch us live on Twitch, you can find us on YouTube at 2Gamers1Trophy. That's the numeral 2 and the numeral 1. You can also follow us on the PlayStation Network if you want to play games with us or just watch us be fools while we play games. I am Caustic Sofa, and who are you?
I am Paradox, spelled P-A-I-R-O-D-O-C-S.
Great.
Come play Destiny 2 with us. Or whatever game that we are happen to be jumping in at the moment.
Yes, for me it's likely Overwatch.
And for me it's Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Alright, well this has been fun. I just had a flashlight turned on, weirdly. We'll see you next time on 2Gamers1Trophy. Bye-bye.